I would like to say hello to you again with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the techniques of citation, and I will be explaining with some examples for you. Let's go and talk about the techniques. For 202, in this semester, you are going to be familiar with 3 different techniques of citation. The first one is going to be quotation, the second one is paraphrasing, and the last one is summarizing. Let's start with quotation. Quotation means a direct quote. In simple words, that is copy-paste from the original source into your own source. And here we have some issues to keep in our minds. What are they? Primarily, you should take the information word for word from the original source. Then you don't have a chance to change any part of that original source that you are going to use in your own study. So there is no change, no alteration. And of course, as I have put in the picture over here for you, we need to put quotation marks for that. And this quotation mark usage is showing that you need to take the information from the original source one by one and put it in your own study. And that piece of information in the quotation mark does not belong to you. That belongs to another author. And you have to attribute it to the original author. That is, you need to give citation for that. Let's go and see how do we do it. Actually, in the video about the basic rules of citation, I have defined them in a very detailed manner. You can watch that video again. But here, just let's give a general information about how to do that in text citation. We have 2 formats. The first one is parenthetical format. The other one is the signal format. In parenthetical format, all the information in order to attribute the work to the original writer is last name of the author, the year of publication, and the page number of the source that you are going to use. And how do we do it? Because it is a direct quotation, you're going to use quotation mark to begin and end the source, the information that you have taken from another writer. Then after you finish it, you write the last name of the writer, then we have a comma, you write the year of that, another comma, page number. We don't write page number, we use the short format of that. What is it? P dot, that is the short version of it. And what we do is we write the page number and we close the parenthesis. This is called parenthetical format. In signal format, we start our citation with the name and the year of that external source. How do we do it? We write according to or as X states claims, and after according to we write the last name of the author. We have the year just after the last name in the parenthesis. We have a comma, then we start our citation by giving the quotation as you see over here. We finish the information with the comma again, and then we have the page number, as I told you before, P dot and then the page number, and you finish your citation, in-text citation, as a direct quotation manner. We have 2 different formats of direct quote, and they are called plus 40 word and minus 40 word. What do we mean? Are we going to count the numbers? Yes, actually, we're not joking about that. This exactly depends on the number of the words that you're going to use as an external source in your own study. So if it is minus 40 word, it is a short quotation. Here, in short quotation, I have colored that for you to see it better. You can see that we use the same technique of direct quote for in-text citation. We write the last name of the author, we write the year of that, then we start it with a direct quote quotation showing that it is a direct quote. We put the information inside that and we close it with a page number. Then we continue with our own comments on the citation that we have used. Don't forget, you have to write something about the citation. You have to relate the citation to your own words. So this is the short one. It is minus 40 words. We count the numbers. Now let's go and talk about the long quotation. In long quotation, we have a different system. What is it? We write our own beginning sentence, or we write our own study, whatever information we have about the subject that we are going to write a report on. Then we generally use a signal format. What is signal format? At the beginning of your sentence, you write the last name of the author and the year, as you can see. And then we start a block quotation. The information in block quotation, that is 2 tabs inside, 1, 2, and it is in the block format, and we write it that way. And here, one thing which is different from short quotation is, in long quotation, we do not use a direct quote system, which is quotation mark. So you can see here, there is no quotation mark, because in block system, we can see this information belongs to another author. Then we finish the information of the external source. We put a dot over here before the parenthesis, then we write the page number. This is the difference between short quotation and long quotation. Let me go back. Look at here. We have the dot after we finish the page number, but in the long one, it is before that. Here, in the short one, we have the quotation mark, you can see, but in the long one, we do not have that quotation mark. And what is the number? I have written over here, 60 words, so it is plus 40 words. So this is the long quotation, and this was the sample. You can see these kind of samples in your booklets as well. There are many of these examples over there. Now let's go and talk about the second technique of in-text citation, which is paraphrasing. As you can see in the picture over there, paraphrase means rewriting, retelling, re-saying, or redoing something. And there are some very important issues in paraphrasing, and that is you are going to restate the writer's idea. How are you going to do that? You're going to take the information in the original source and you're going to put it in your own study, word for word, and that is going to be in your own words. What do I mean is, you cannot cut any information from the external source. If you are going to cite paraphrase from the original source, you are going to put every information, include every information there. And does paraphrase mean that you're going to change one word and then that is a paraphrase? No. You are going to use different words, synonyms. You are going to change the word order, and you are going to change the grammar formats of that. That should sound that this piece of information is from the author, but rewritten by you yourself. That is your product belonging to original source. And it is a legitimate way of borrowing from the source. Legitimate means a legal way of borrowing. And in this way, you know, we do have a tendency to copy paste, and we don't like in our report we don't like to have too many direct quotes in our report. So what we do is we use different techniques. It is a really good way of avoiding too much direct quoting in your reports. Now let's go and see, how do we follow paraphrasing ways, or how can we paraphrase an original source and have a good one in our own study? Firstly, we have to understand the piece of information that we want to use in our study. how do we do it? We read to understand it as many times as you need, okay? Then you are going to see actually where exactly you want to incorporate it, which part of your work you are going to put this information, insert this information, and how much of that information are you going to use. Then you are going to read the original section you want to paraphrase, and you're going to jot down some notes. You're going to take your own notes about that information that you are reading from the original source. Then you are going to use some main ideas, some major parts of that you will be using in your study. And then you are going to use, there is one thing you should keep in your mind, and that is sometimes there are some kind of technical words. In paraphrasing, you have to explain them. If they are a must, you're going to use those terminology in quotation marks, showing that that doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the original author. And finally, you are going to put aside the original source. Just by looking at your note cards, you're going to write your own piece of paraphrase, and be careful not to change the meaning. The meaning should stay the same, it should remain the same, but what is changing is the format of the sentence. You cannot copy-paste from the original one. And editing is a must in paraphrasing. You have to check yourself not to make any mistakes while you're doing your paraphrase. And at the end of the paraphrase, you are going to use in-text citation. And that is, you need the last name of the author, you need the publication, and you need the page number, just as we did before. And there is a misunderstanding. Some people say that it is my word, I did it. No, it is not your word. It belongs to the author. The idea belongs to the author of the external source. You have just changed that, so you have to attribute this paraphrase to the original author. Now, I have an example of that. Just a piece of information to you, and that is when we are using paraphrases in order to make our reader sure of whether this is something taken from an original source, we use the signal format of in-text citation. And as you can see in the example, it starts with the last name of the author. We have the year over here. We have the related verb to show that it is a piece of paraphrase. It starts from here until the page number. And we can easily understand, okay, this piece of information belongs to the original author of that text, and the other part belongs to you. Now, let me go and talk about the last technique of in-text citation, which is summarizing. Actually, writing a summary is not an easy issue to continue, and what we need to focus on is we should give an overview of the text or information that we have read or we have taken from external sources. So, one, that is an overview of the original text. And then it is short because we don't have a long place to put the external information in our own study. So it should be short. And in order to shorten something, what we need to do is we just take the main ideas. There is no place for the details, examples, and formalities. We are not going to use those kind of details in our summary. Again, just like the thing that we did in paraphrasing, you're going to write it in your own words and with your own style, with your own grammatical basis. And the very important thing is the objectivity in the summary. That is, you are not going to add your own personal ideas. It should be free of your personal ideas, personal thoughts, because it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the author. So you are just carrying the information in a condensed, shorter way, and you just transfer it into your own study. And it is mentioned that it is generally 30% of the original text. So be sure about that issue. I have an example about summary, and I will show you how you can see the summary, the length of that. But before going to the example, the sample I will be showing, we are going to follow the steps for writing the summary. Just like paraphrasing, again, what you do is you are going to read and understand the article firstly. Then you are going to use some kind of annotating devices, like you can use some kind of stars asterisk, or you can highlight the text, you can annotate taking a small notes just by the side of the original text. You can use any annotating technique that you're familiar with as a student. We are all familiar with note-taking styles, and we have our own styles for that. Then you are going to make an outline of the original text. Why do we need an outline? Because sometimes the text can be very long, and for long text sometimes we may forget what happened in the first page. So taking short notes, an outline of that in the organization that is presented to us by the original author is very much important. So we take the original format, organization in the outline that we have mentioned over there. And for the summary, we start with an identifying information. For reading a summary or understanding a summary, we need some kind of information like what is the title of that original text, who has written that, where is it published, when is it published. So general information, the identifying information comes at the beginning of the summary in the first sentence. And of course you have to give the main idea of that original text at the beginning of your summary. I have to highlight this part as well, main article. And as I mentioned before, it is short, so it should just include the major supportings, no details. And you're going to add the majors, omit every detail exemplification, and don't lose your objectivity, and don't lose the idea that you cannot add your personal idea. This part, it does not belong to you. It belongs to the original author. And every summary is written in one paragraph, so you have to summarize it in a way with an identifying information at the beginning. Then you give the major ideas, you use some transitions to connect the ideas together by referring to the author, and you finish it in one paragraph. And at the end of the paragraph, we need to cite it. Because, as I said before, as I'm repeating it every time during the videos about citation, this is not your source. This is an external source. It needs to be cited. Now let's go to the sample of the summary. This is a piece from your booklet. You can find it there. And the title is Music Downloading. We have the writer, and then it is going to be a long one. It continues like 1.5 pages. Then we come to the summary of the text. As I told you before, here we have an introductory sentence. The title of the author, the article is written over there. Here we have Sandy Green, who is the writer of that. And then we have the main ideas over here, the main idea of this text. We have used some kind of transitions to connect the ideas over here, one by one, from paragraphs, taking the major and keywords. And then we finish it over here. What is missing here is at the end of this, we have to give our citation. What was it? Let's remember. In parentheses, you write the last name of the author, comma, you write the year of that, comma, page number, P dot and then the number, closing it, and you finish the summary as it is in this way. I hope I could be helpful for you in this video, and I'm going to go back to the techniques. So up to here, we talked about all different techniques, 3 main techniques of citation, and I try to explain each of them, how to do it, why to do it, and where to do it. If you have any other question, you can go to your instructors. They can help you with them. You know, it is a matter of practice. Please practice doing it. It is nothing easy that in one night you can do. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.